What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's
Nice to
up?
see everyone. See, Andrew, thanks for joining us. Andrew and Alban, thanks for being here. Thanks. I see Rogers over here in the side
Yeah.
chat, as always. And hey, how do you like
And
my
you-
new camera? I got a new camera.
oh, it
Does,
is nice.
do I look any better or any
I
worse?
didn't even realize.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
you might want to put a comb through your hair, but
yeah.
it-
Well, I work
the
today.
beard is good.
Yeah,
Mm.
I work today, so I don't care. There's a little bit of a hat. I got a little hat head going on. That's all right.
Okay.
So, Andrew, you doing well today?
I'm doing fine. Yep.
So
Good.
do you do your cramming like you normally do on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday?
Yeah, I watched them both today.
All right, so they're fresh in your mind.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
I've been
again,
too
I'll wait
into
to hear.
Lost.
Lost. Oh yeah.
You,
Well,
you see what the beef said, right?
doesn't look. Yeah. Well. Yeah. This one was more than $13.99. Damn. Bad thing was I was listening to Carl, so Carl was like, I got this new one that I've been using. So then he told me about it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. But it's got a lot of features that I can't use with StreamYard though, because StreamYard only allows certain things. If I used it on OBS, you could do all kinds of extra stuff. But oh well.
Money well spent then.
Roger's asking, did you go from 720 to 1080 or what?
It is a 1080, but well, both of them are 1080, but StreamYard only allows 720 unless I pay. Unless I pay, I got to pay more money, which I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at the beach could have saved me some money. Oh well. So it is what it is.
Is there anyone else out there besides the two of them, or what? Tim's out there. What's up, Tim?
Yeah, gold hat and okay, and we got Tim. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get cranking. Blue won't be here, so we will just the show rolls on. So we've got two movies today, which is District 9 and Welcome to Marwen. So Welcome to Marwen. So let's see. So that's your two picks.
Mm-hmm. So, no, you go first there, buddy. With the bald head.
No, I can't. I'd flip a coin. I'd flip a coin. I don't have a coin.
No, it's okay. I'll go first. You know,
it was the first movie I watched.
You did watch mine first or not?
Yeah, I watched yours first.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay. So
you just watched it tonight, though, of course, right?
Well, this morning.
Oh, okay.
Hours and hours ago.
Yeah, he's done forgot it by now.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah, because
it was the first time I watched that one. That's why I watched it first. It's the first time I'd seen it.
Yeah, well, it was the first time I'd seen it, so that was a new one for me. So let me go ahead and throw a banner in here, and then we'll get cranking. Did you want to be first or last?
It's. I guess I might as well go last, but there's only three of us here.
It's gonna go quick.
Yeah, it'll go quick. Yeah. Hey, Patty. Thanks for coming out. See her out there now.
Thank you, Patty.
Hopefully,
we're getting our regulars, getting our our loyal viewers are showing up.
Yeah, I guess everyone has to be able to get ready to jump into the show here.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be long.
It ain't gonna be a long show. No.
So get yourselves ready.
Because I ain't got that kind of filler like Dad's got. You know.
Oh. Yeah, I can go in for a little bit. Hey, it's called the gift of gab.
I know you have it. I just don't. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm gonna work on you.
I got the gift of gobble, like gobbling down food, not gabbing my mouth. When I eat, I'm most silent, and it takes me forever to eat.
So, all right. Well, so you said you want to be last. I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
So, welcome to Marwen. I have not I did not watch this prior. 2018 movie. Um, Steve Carell. What's Steve Carell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say the beginning of this movie, when it was doing all of the they're not puppets, they're just dolls. I was really confused when he's flying the plane, because I'm like, this is pretty cheesy graphics for an airplane. But then having to figure out that this was his way of expression, because he was an introvert and all kinds of. Now, again, this was one of my favorite parts there. Surprise, surprise. So it kind of threw me off a little bit, but I kind of got used to it and figured, once I figured out that most of this, that most of the stuff that he was seeing or portraying was in his mind. So he was doing this whole long story. It was amazing how he really struggled with social skills, which I think he might have struggled with social skills on the front end, but then him having the traumatic event escalated that and created him to become very secluded and scared of people. I thought it was really funny when he was in his trailer, and he's watching through the windows, through the blinds as things are happening. I thought that was pretty funny, because how many times have you guys seen your neighbors and you know that they're looking through the blinds and they don't want you to know that they're looking, but they're looking. This part here really kind of gave you an idea of knowing where he was at mentally, because he didn't remember anything that happened prior to the beating, the attack.
Yeah.
And these are some things in here when they're showing, he says, I say we end it, and talking about, feeling worthless and broken. And Vendaje, was it like, it wasn't deja vu, it was
Deja.
Deja.
So yeah, that was really difficult to see him struggling with that mentally. And then at the end, you actually see the guy, because it's based on a true story, which is even weird. But it was neat how he really put his art in, and when he was doing the art show, how it didn't look like little dolls as much as it did like when they were sitting there, when he actually took photos with her. So I enjoyed it. It was interesting. At parts, I had parts where I wasn't sure if I was liking the movie or disliking it. Does that make sense? But it was a very weird story, but it held my attention enough. I wanted to watch it to the end. So I guess it's hard. It wasn't that it was like super it didn't captivate me.
Captivate.
Yeah, captivate. Okay. Didn't captivate me as much as I would have wanted, but it held me enough to want to know what was going to happen at the end. Maybe didn't have the action, all this stuff, but the doll stuff going on was quite interesting. Like when they were shooting in dolls, and I did like the dolls without their tops. I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny. And the milkmaid part was one of the funniest parts. That was the funniest parts of the whole movie. There
was a good line when the meet.
Yeah, when they were saying different things, he goes, she can't hold a gun, but she's real good with an udder or teats. She's good with teats.
She can hold the teat.
Yeah. So that was funny. There was some good funny parts in there, and very creative guy. And it was interesting how everybody in his life, the women in his life, he made them a doll. So I enjoyed it. It was definitely a different movie, and I wasn't sure at times if I was liking it, but it held me enough to keep me watching. So, but that's what I got.
Okay.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought the 6.2 rating that it's got.
Yeah, I saw that was 6.2.
I think that might be just a little bit too low. I would say probably like a good 6.5, 6.8, maybe it's even 7 because
Yeah.
I thought it was really good storytelling. I liked it. It was like a different way of telling how somebody copes with like some trauma in their life. Like, and I know like obviously the graphics for the dolls was actually quite good for because you expect it to be like a little bit cartoony, and it's good how they made like a good realistic version of him as a doll and all these other people as dolls. So the graphics were quite good, if you ask me. Just before I forget, because I know you know how I like forget stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When you were talking about the milkmaid scene, obviously he says, "Oh, she's not good with a gun. She doesn't know how to handle a gun, but she can handle a teat." And then one of them says to him, "Does she have a cow?" And he went, "It got caught in the crossfire. It was a cow. It was a what was it? Cow lateral damage."
Yeah,
Call out,
collateral
yeah,
damage.
cow ladder
That
damage.
just made me
Yeah.
chuckle. It was such a corny joke, but it was just like it was a real Steve Carell joke.
Yeah.
It's something he definitely would come up with. He probably came up with that. That just made us chuckle. I found myself like I liked the whole little village he had made, and I was thinking to myself, God, I wish I had a little tiny little doll village like that. But I liked I just liked how he expressed himself and used all and all the main like strong people in the story of like and the strong dolls and part of his team were all women, because he obviously, even though he didn't know much about himself because of what happened, he obviously still knew he had a good connection with women, and obviously that's how the whole thing with wearing the women's shoes or collecting the women's shoes is because he can was it connect with a woman's essence or something like that. So it was good how all the main people were the strong women that were in his actual life. There was a couple of plot holes in the story which like didn't really go anywhere, like the neighbor's boyfriend. It really give much background on that story, and the Wendy who story, the person who saved them from the attackers, and obviously the person who Marwen, because like Marwen's just like a combination of their names, is it, like Mark and Wendy. So they didn't really give too much story on Wendy. Obviously, you see the doll character version of her at the very beginning, and then that's it. Really, it's like talks about her, but like they don't really give any like background between the. Or I might, if they did, I missed it. Like how much what kind of relationship they had, or who
Well, I
really
think
showed
he
them.
well, because when he was looking at the pictures, remember when he was at the cafe or the
Yeah.
restaurant, he's looking at the pictures, so you could see that I think he had a funny. To me, it was almost like he looked at these women almost like a mother figure. Even
I've
though
got
he
doll
was
houses to beach. Thank you. I've got doll
No,
houses. Thanks.
so, but it was weird how he would look at those women, like you said, the strong women in his life. He would, he put them on this pedestal. But I think that she probably felt the same way that Nicole felt. Hey, I don't mind being your friend, but that's it. We're not going to be nothing more than just your friend,
Yeah.
because she moved on.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like in his real life, he was at the end. Obviously, he's like he kind of accepts that he's not going to have the same relationship as that what his doll's character has with the neighbor's character, but he kind of keeps them together anyway, and it's like still like a major part of his like progression and like the way he goes on. Sorry. Ooh, God, that just came out of nowhere. That it wasn't the movie that made that happen. Yeah, I liked how the Nazi characters just kept coming back to life all the time, and you wonder why. It's just like him over. It's like intricate storytelling of like it's just him replaying the scene of what happened to him over and over again. And
then the women saving him.
Yeah,
The
and
women always came and
saving
saved
them.
him.
Mhm.
and none of them got too close to him because then they would get like wiped out of his life by the character Deja, who was actually isn't like he's when she asks him who's Deja's like who's that like character
Mhm.
based on, and he went nobody, but everybody else is based on someone. And before that part, I already knew that the character was based on the pills that he was taking, just because of the color of the hair and the color of the
Yeah, they were
glove
green.
and the way she manipulated him was because those pills are exactly the same color, and every time he took those, and he was taking more and more. Every time he took those, that like took control of him, and that's exactly what that character was doing to the doll character. Um,
I never thought
and
about
that's
that.
why,
I was thinking it was his
Yeah.
ex-wife.
yeah,
Because
Well,
remember, he says, "I think I was
that's what,
married."
yeah, but he was married.
Yeah, because but he said, "I think I was" in
Yeah, I
the
think
book,
I was right.
yeah,
and because he didn't remember it. And I was like, "Oh, that must have been his ex-wife." But you're right. I think that was it was the pills, and that
Mhm.
makes sense. Okay.
yeah. But I mean, it kind of shows that at the end as well when she builds it when he builds out a time machine, which is also funny. And he's holding it up to the doll, and he goes, "Yes, it can fly." And then and then the wheels just go under like Back to the Future,
Yeah,
DeLorean.
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
thing that made us laugh as well. But when the in the scene where she's about to go off with him in the time machine, um, and then him in real life, he flushes all the pills down the drain, and that's
Hmm.
kind of when his character makes her disappear. That's kind of
Yeah,
showing that's her character going because she's the pills that he's been taking that's been
yeah,
controlling in his mind and being controlling the way he acts.
yeah.
Um,
Good point.
and it basically it was taking them to block out like the memory of what happened to him. He was taking them, and then he was taking too many because obviously his Russian carer, who's one of the Russian dolls as well, when she comes over and says, like, how have you used all them pills already? Like, you're not supposed to take like as much as what you've been
Yeah,
taking.
one a day. You see the signs.
Mhm.
Yeah, one a day. Yeah, and obviously he's just been taking more, hasn't he? Because he just wants to forget, and
Well, but I
but
think
that's how the
maybe he forgets. He forgets he took it because when he took too many pills, remember that was when he would go into dream la la land,
Yeah.
and he
yeah, and
would,
then the
you
doll
know,
would talk to him, and
yeah,
Mhm.
she would control him, and she's like, take a pill," because
Mhm.
because it was the pills controlling him.
Yeah.
mm,
Well, it's not even the pills controlling him. It was more the German Nazis. Because those are the guys that beat him up. That
yeah,
But who in the doll's storyline? Who at the end is controlling the Nazis when he pulls the
yeah,
glove
yeah,
off
yeah. Because
Deja
Yeah.
and she's got
he
the
saw her
Nazi
arm and he
tattoo
says, "Yeah,"
on
he
her
says,
arm?
"You're a double agent."
Mhm.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
double agent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I found it was funny. It was funny as well when his neighbor first comes over to see the dolls, and she's fascinated, and then she was like, "Oh my god, what's going on here?" And then the church is like
Mhm.
tied up, and all the Nazis have got him tied up. And he starts telling her the story. Like for this bit, he
Yeah.
tells her the story, and she's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I like that story." She goes, "Very, very violent, but I like it."
yeah.
Like
I
every
thought she
story
was.
was like really violent.
I actually thought she was going to be a doctor. I thought at first I thought she's a plant. I thought, oh, this is a doctor that's going to plant herself across the street to try to help him.
Or like observing.
Therapist, like I was thinking she was going to be his therapist, but yeah, that not so
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, there was just a couple of little things like I mentioned before. The whole thing with the Wendy and the neighbor's boyfriend. There wasn't much explained there. But I think the main crux of the story about how he was coping with what he went through, and they did that well. And all the scenes with the dolls was entertaining. So, like Todd said, it kept me like interested enough to watch it all the way through. So I enjoyed it.
Okay. Okay.
For
Good.
a changeover, and you did a good job. I really liked it.
Okay. Good.
Should be a little bit higher than 6.2 in my opinion. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would have gave it.
Yeah.
I would have gave it 7.1. I think you're right about that 7, right in there because
Mhm.
it
yeah,
held
around
all
about
right.
6.87, I would give it.
Yeah.
All right. Uh. Okay. You done,
Yep.
Andrew?
I'm
Okay.
done. Yes.
All right. Where do I begin with this movie? I really enjoyed this movie from the first time I seen it, and I always knew it was something I wanted to have on the show. I know you guys didn't do any extra credit on it, but I that's why I asked anyone out there to watch Marwen Call, which is basically the Mark Hogan's Hogan Camp's story. So you really got to learn more about him and how much he had to um, try to find his life again. You know, this is a guy that when they say he couldn't even write, I mean he couldn't write, and he has journals of him doing his writing, and now his writing is much better than I ever could, but he still can't draw like he used to, and he to find out the things that he used to be able to do that he can't now, and so like he can't draw anymore because he was an excellent illustrator, but now he can take pictures, and the mindset of him of how he wants everything so perfect when he takes these pictures, and when you look at any of these pictures, like take that picture right there, how he sets up this little camera, and he gets ready to take a shot, and the wind will blow it over, and he'll go right back again, and he'll set up his whole shot, and he takes these pictures, and they're so lifelike because they're he really in his gallery, they're all really basically in black and white,
Mhm.
and it just looks so good. Um, uh, they beat him so badly, yet he wasn't even recognizable, and to think that okay, you know, knowing the other side of the story, knowing that okay, well, he did walk around with high heels before the fight, but he wasn't wearing high heels that
Mm,
night of the fight when
mm,
these guys
Mm.
beat him up, and the things that he would do for anyone that would that he got close to, because it wasn't just women that he has dolls for. He does have dolls for like other people in the bar that he, because he works there at the bar also. He just mops up and stuff. um I really really loved the movie. They had beat him so that he needed facial reconstruction. Now you could just thank God in the other movie they do show what he used to look like,
mhm,
and you can tell it's just like wow, you know. But he at least was lucky enough to live in a town where you know the people protect him now. It's like, remember when we watched Lars, that
yep,
Lars and the
yep,
real
yep,
girl.
yep,
It
Mm.
was like that. How community came out for him. But this man would, like, say that the Jeep that he has there, the truck
yeah,
that he pulls, you know he wanted to make sure that the tires got
yeah,
the amount of wear and tear on
yeah,
the tires
yeah,
by
'cause he
him
said he
pulling
wanted
it
it to
around.
look like it was real.
Yeah, and so he walks around everywhere with it, and just amazing. I'm glad that you guys liked it. Um, and when you watch the other Marwen Call, you'll see, when you look at his house, you'll see the all of Marwen with all of the houses and stuff that he built. Could you imagine, like the Nicole across the street? She moves in, and here he builds a tea house for her. It's just amazing, amazing. Um,
Well, it was
uh,
interesting how, when he came in, he'd never come he, like, came
when
underneath the house,
underneath
but
the house.
then or the underneath the trailer, but then he would, like, set the shoes, in
Hmm.
their places. All the dolls had their own beds.
Yep, yep.
Um,
And he
even
doesn't go to.
Deja was up there.
He believes that he can't go to sleep without. saying goodnight to them and waking up to them. You know,
Mm.
it's just amazing, but very sad also. You know that this guy had to go through that. Um, yeah, I love the music in the movie. I think there were some great tunes, like like when all the girls are going to fight for him and they're playing Addicted to Love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of good music in the movie, and I really like it. I'll leave more stuff for others out on the side chat to jump in later and say. Okay.
Best cinematography with the Leo Awards. I was looking to see it
Oh
said it
yeah.
won a couple. Yeah.
Oh good.
The best sound in a motion picture
Oh, okay.
for at that Leo, which I'm not sure what the Leo Awards are. But
No, I don't know.
yeah, it definitely I I'd seen this available for a
Hmm.
while now, and I was like, I don't know if I want to watch that. You
That's the
know,
way I had felt about it. And one day I had went to this pizza joint. I was getting uh, a meal, and it was playing on the TV. I'm like, what freaking movie is this? This looks like I'm not normally into anime type thing, but this here looked really pretty neat for me. I said, yeah, I'll have to check this movie out. And so once I found out what the movie was, and I watched it, and when I found out, it was all true. It was a true story. I was just like, oh, this is just amazing.
mm,
I don't know why I never watched it before that.
Yeah, it was
okay, all right,
interesting.
yeah. So we got that. We'll talk about that. If you guys have not watched the show before, which I think most of the people in the side chat have watched this show before, we'll talk about these movies, and then I will post a link, and you people can jump in and tell us what they think. But feel free if you want to on the side chat, what's your thoughts and any of that kind of stuff about as we're talking about the movie. So you're more than welcome to post that over there. So our next movie is District 9, which I had seen, and I'm sure most people have watched this in the past. So District 9, which is Andrew's movie. So Andrew, since you picked this movie, um, you're able to be first or last. Which would you like to be on this particular movie?
I will go the traditional last, please, Todd.
Okay. Okay.
All right, traditionally last. Okay, Alban, do
Well,
you have your hand
uh,
up?
yeah, I'll go because you
Okay.
went first on the other one.
Okay.
Um, Not like Andrew would ever go first on something.
I'll go first next week. Oh wait, no, we're doing the review. Sure, I'll go first on the one after that.
Yeah. Okay. We'll
I
hold you to
promise.
it.
I promise.
Well, somehow it could be Scarface. We'll
Oh
go down
gosh.
first.
When it's Scarface, I'll go first.
Oh, everyone
Yeah,
out there heard that, right?
yeah. He'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't
No,
watch it
sorry, I
this
didn't
week."
watch it this week.
Oh, I've got a
So,
prior engagement. Sorry, I can't make it.
All right, District 9. Um, yeah, it was a 2009 movie. Um,
mm,
uh, I don't know where to begin. I remember seeing this. I don't think it was in 2009. Maybe it was like 2 years later. I watched this and I'm like, oh, this is right up my alley. Shooting aliens and all kinds of stuff like that. And then it took a little bit for me to watch a movie and be like, you know what, this it's too many different similarities that I'm not looking at. This is like
mhm,
what's going on now.
mhm,
That how people are. They don't want to. Look at. They judge people too much. Um, this is why I think I like when you watch a movie that doesn't have normal people that I know in it, because uh, I watch this movie and I say, um, what did I write here? What um, it's I'm trying to think of I can't even think of the words because I feel everyone goes away from this movie feeling like, you know, how could we be like that? You know, why are people so racist? Sure, it might be a machine, but people are still racist.
Mhm.
Um, I there are a lot of things that that they put in there that made me laugh, like like with the robot taking a piss. You know what I mean? You know, I thought it was funny. Um,
But no,
but
you mean the alien?
the alien, yeah, you
I was gonna
remember
say,
they had the alien
yeah,
that
yeah.
was
You said
sitting.
robot. I was
Oh,
thinking,
oh,
but they weren't
yeah, yeah,
robot.
they weren't robots.
He got in the
No,
robot, but he
yeah,
didn't
he
take
got
a piss.
right, right, right. Yeah, but they're illegal aliens. So
Mhm.
this is how we treat our illegal aliens, Um, uh, uh, when the wasn't one of them even puking up or something like that? All that black stuff. Um,
He was when
he. Oh
remember
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah, yeah,
puked up.
yeah,
He
yeah.
puked it.
When he puked it up, how come no one did anything? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
and
know
it
what
was
I mean.
black.
Right, and it was black, and no one did a thing, and I couldn't understand that. Um, I, it's I guess when you're having that kind of bad of a day, you know, uh, but hey, I don't know why I wrote that. I want that arm. That, um,
Oh, he wrote.
he wrote, yeah,
Remember
He's a
his alien
Nigerian.
arm, and the
right,
Nigerian's like, I
yeah,
want
yeah,
that
yeah,
arm
that arm, right. Now,
because the
what
arm he thought was gonna
you
make
was
it so he
gonna
could shoot
make
the
him
weapons.
right now? Why? Yeah. What do you,
He
how you
wanted the
gonna,
power of those
he wants
weapons.
the power, right? But would it
I
have
mean, he
been
was
worth
willing
it?
to eat parts of those
Right,
aliens
right. I'm just like,
to think he was gonna get that in him.
yeah, um, yeah. But otherwise, I like the movie. Um, yeah, I always like B movies. You know what I mean?
Now it's a B movie.
Yeah, no, I like B
I'm
movies.
just fucking with
You
you.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
I get
things that are so far off that you just have to watch. You know what I mean? It's like like those. What was that other one there that what's his name did? The one with the box. They had the remotes for the machines. Hugh Jackman did it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Not the big robots, the big
yeah,
gigantic robots that were
yeah,
Oh
fighting the
yeah.
aliens
right,
coming from the
right,
fifth dimension.
yeah, yeah.
Oh shit, there's two of them. There's two movies of that.
Real Steel,
Real
Real
Steel.
Steel. Yeah, couldn't think of the name of
Oh
it.
yeah, Real Steel, and then there was oh, I thought you were talking about that other one. So
What?
yeah, Hugh
Chappie,
Jackman was in Real Steel.
Chappie
No, no, Chappie, which was kind of like a spin off of this at
of
the end,
this. Yeah, yeah,
somewhat.
yep, yeah. And I like Chappie. Yeah, Chappie was a good one. All right.
All right, you done?
Okay, I'm done. Yeah, we're
Okay.
moving this along.
Um, as Alvin says, this is an older movie. I watched it, and the first time I saw it as an alien movie only. I saw it as an alien movie, just some aliens land on Earth, and then uh, what happens? They're there for 28 plus years, and then they're going to relocate them. And when I looked this up, the director wrote this, and he had lived in South Africa, and took. They actually took some of the shanty towns, or they took some of the real shanty towns. He said they only built a few of those sheds. They said only Christopher's shed was actually built. The rest of them were real sheds that were there. That was the real things. And it was about how his view on apartheid was. And you see how so that the first time I saw it, it was more just aliens and all the sci-fi stuff. The second and third times, because I've seen this at least three times. This might have been the fourth time. I actually look at it more as a like Alban says, how we treat people. in how we treat people that are different, be it if they're an alien. And I think that the alien is a stretch on being different, but I think that it's a trying to show how humans are very cold and callous to people that are different or something that is different. And I think that that's what he was trying to show, using aliens as what we do with other people, as they did with apartheid and people living in these slums. And he talked about the slums that were built there, and some of the slums that were just destroyed so that the white people could build houses there. And so just that disparity between the people that have something, the people that don't have anything, and just we don't care. So I looked at it differently. And then the spin on him becoming an alien, which was a trip because he was a nerd. You could tell he was a nerd guy, and he only got the job because of his father or his father-in-law. And he was actually becoming them. And did you hear how he was talking junk about the prawns? And he was calling them prawns, which was a derogatory comment or derogatory term towards them, calling them prawns. And he's like, oh, there's a little prawn, maybe I'll kill him and I'll step on him and I'll put him in jail. And he was just talking junk and hateful to him. But did you see after he actually became the prawn in the alien, he saw it differently. He saw them that they had worth, they had importance. So that was an interesting, the way that he was very callous at the beginning. And then once he was actually immersed in being part of that culture, he actually changed, and his mindset became different. And I think that's what a lot of times it's easy for us to put down somebody else or make fun of somebody else. But if you lived in their shoes a little bit and lived their life, then you don't put them down because you're like, wait a minute, I never saw life that way. And I think that's what the director is trying to show, that all you have to do is walk a mile in somebody's shoes, and your perception of them and their life becomes different, because he saw them as, oh, we're going to send them to, we're sending you to a better place. And do you remember what the better place looked like? It was just like those little tents, but that was the better place.
Yeah.
And he didn't care. He's like, just sign here, sign it, put an X. That's your signature. And the only thing that I thought was weird, how could he tell what they were saying?
Right.
That was my only thing. I'm like, you done figured out this alien. Now, yes, you had 20 years, but I mean, he could listen. He's like, and he's like, oh, yeah, well, we're going to relocate you to a better place. Oh, yes, it is much better. And yes,
So
we do
I
have to give
guess,
you a 24-hour notice.
You could say like the clicks were like Morse code type stuff, which they could get used to learning. Because there's like a part in it. There's a part in it where Christopher's character says something about too bad I could have saved you or something like that, and then he's like, oh, speak a bit slower, because like do your clicks a little bit slower because I didn't quite understand what you said.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe it's Morse code type thing. But I did read an interesting theory that apparently the prawns were actually human beforehand, so that's how they understood English, and how I guess how the humans could understand them. But yeah, it is interesting how you'd like just be like, how do they understand each other straight away? And
I mean, it said 20 years. That was my only thing that was like, you understand what they're saying? Because I had to turn subtitles because I didn't know what they were saying. But and that was the only reason I knew his name was Christopher, because in the subtitles it would say Christopher. So but I enjoyed it. And again, the first time I saw it, I didn't think about this movie in that way. The first time I saw it as just a sci-fi alien movie with a weird twist when he started to become the alien. But the later times I watched it with a different eye and was like, what is the director trying to say here? And then when I read that he was actually had lived in South Africa and had seen apartheid and had seen that, And then I was like, ah, okay. So this is all kind of coming together. And it was weird how did you see how the aliens protected him at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
They accepted him,
Mhm.
even though they knew that he was a human becoming an alien. Did you see they came to his rescue to save him? And they were nonviolent, really, for the most part, because how many times whereas people when humans were walking around and you didn't see the aliens attacking them. I mean, they said there were some riots, but you didn't see them like, killing people.
Yeah.
They kind of the news acted like it, but I also thought that was probably made up. People using. So that's my thought. That's my spin on this movie. So, that's what I thought.
Hmm. I remember when I first watched this movie. I used to watch like Alien. I used to be obsessed with like watching Alien type movies all the time. So that's why I came across this. When I came across this one, I wanted to watch it because I never heard of it before, and obviously never heard of anybody in it. So it'd be interesting to watch it. And when I started watching it, it was interesting to see that it's completely different perspective on other Alien type movies. Whereas like in the other like the big box office movies about aliens, they all go to America or somewhere like that, and this is just like this ship like lands over Johannesburg, and it's in a poverty. It's already in a poverty stricken country, and then the aliens get like just like you said like a different race like a I mean, obviously they are different race, but like they get tracked like a different human race, um, and they get like colonized and stuff like that. And the thing with the end when you said that they protected him, I don't know whether you probably could say that they protected him, but you could also say that maybe they just wanted to kill that guy because he was such a fucking dickhead, and
Yeah.
he enjoyed killing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're right about they weren't aggressive. Like I think the only time you see them get aggressive is obviously the news reports, which like you say can be like shown to like propaganda type thing just to make it look like they were bad. But also that when they're going around go to get the signatures for the evictions, and one of them one of them's like eating the tires, like oh they love like eating the tires and that and stuff like that, and he's telling them to get off, and then one of the soldiers goes up and prods him with a thing, and that's when he like grabs his arm and kicks him off, and like it shows his actual power that he's got. He is actually they are actually really strong because it rips the guy's arm off. That's the only time I'd attacked him because it like prodded him.
Well, and they had well, not to interrupt, but the aliens had the weapons. The aliens had those weapons they could have used at any point of this movie.
Yep.
And they never did.
They just wanted to go home, really, but they just weren't allowed to go home because because MNU, who was a weapons manufacturer, wanted to know how to use their weapons.
Yeah.
And it's interesting what you mentioned before, which I didn't think about until you were talking about it, was when you said the way he was treating them at the beginning, like just like they're just beneath him and stuff like, and he's saying the derogatory term of prawn and stuff, and he's like saying he's taking the new guy around, and he's just saying how like he's trying to make it like he's a big shot and he knows more about all these prawns, and they're not smart type thing. It's interesting how his perspective changed, like you said, once he was starting to become one. Because if you look at the scene where he's got the arm and they've got him at the thing testing the weapons out, and they're making him shoot the pigs, and then when it goes to shoot a prawn, he's like, "Oh no, I'll shoot a pig. I'll shoot a pig." He's never done anything. But on the flip side of that as well, it was interesting to see how the humans changed their perspective of him. They started treating him like he was just like one of the aliens, because he was like saying, "I'll pull the trigger myself," and they were prodding him with this thing just to get him to do it. And then obviously when they're on the table and the doctor's like, he's in the perfect balance between human genes and alien genes. We should harvest him. Like he's just some sort of animal, so just like harvest him, but it's like pretending like he's not a human being anymore. They just totally disregarded him. So it's interesting to see the way perspectives changed on like where he saw them then the way people saw him after he changed. I did like the little spin on it, how the said that he'd went against MNU, or he went against the human race by having sex with these things, and they showed
Oh yeah.
the photoshops of him, like presumably doing it, and the Nigerian guy, when he goes to buy weapons off them, he's like, tell me, how did you do this one doggy style?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like it was funny little quips in it, but I just liked the way the story was told, and like how this guy was just trying to. It was basically just how this guy's perspective on these aliens changed because doggy still on a prawn. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just found it an interesting take on an alien movie, and I was a bit gutted that it's taken so long for the director to say he's going to bring an actual sequel out, because I thought it could have been more telling the story. But I just picked it because I had heard that the sequel was going to get made a couple of weeks ago, and then I remembered the movie, and I thought, oh, this is a movie I remember enjoying, and because it was so different from other alien movies. It's kind of like a documentary type thing as well, when they're doing all the interviews with people and they're talking about the guy's story, and there's the way they talk. I love their accent, and I thought the main character was just funny. He was just like the way he's just going, oh, it's a sweetie man. It's the sweetie man. You take your sweetie, eat your sweetie, and then he throws it back at me. Goes, oh, you little fuck, you're gonna hit me in the eye with a lollipop. It's just the way he talks. And then Christopher comes out the shack and he's like, "Is this your little fucker?"
Yeah. Well,
I didn't really talk.
Well, and like you said about being a documentary, because it's like a documentary. This has happened, like supposedly what you're seeing.
They're telling the story.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to agree with what you were saying there. They're telling the story of what happened to him, but they're not really, like, they don't have all the facts, and then the rest of the movie is the filler.
Well, but I also saw that it was also it's the propaganda, how the real story wasn't there, because you saw that guy, the guy in the orange jumpsuit, the guy that he was training that went to jail. And he says, I hacked into it because I got the real story about what really happened, because they have the story that got out, what was publicly known, what was publicly said. He had sex with an alien. And that's what, like this guy, where he says, the public story was that he had sex with the aliens, and that's why he changed. And this guy was like, no, this wasn't what happened. I know what happened because he hacked the computers. And you can see he's in a jumpsuit because he's in jail. And so it's like you have how often does this happen, where something happens, but the government or the powers to be don't want the real story out. They want the spin to stay out. So you get rid of some of the people that may have the real story, and you keep your spin out there, because you look at the guy's family, said that they basically disowned him. They're like, and so that was kind of sad when they were saying, well, he was dead to us, or he was gone. And it's kind of like,
at the end, he's just like a full prawn, and he's just one of them, kind of just waiting for Christopher to come back 3 years.
Yeah. Well, what was funny is when he says, well, it's going to take me 3 years. And I'm thinking, Christopher's lying to you, because there's no way that they're going to be able to reverse this chemical and this alien stuff that's running through him.
I think they did. I think he could reverse it, but I think the reason he said 3 years was because after they went to the MNU to get the liquid, and he saw what they had doing to the other, like, aliens, like how they were harvesting them and stuff, he got pissed off, and he was like, right, it's going to take longer now because I need to go back in, then I need to organize to come back and save the rest of these aliens and maybe attack the people that harmed them, and then I'll cure you. But or I'll cure you when we come back. But he obviously had to go back to the mothership and amass some sort of plan. I don't know if they ever do release the second movie. Maybe like that'll just be like a continuation, and we get to find out what happens. But yeah, I just like the reason I like it is because it's just a nice different take on other like alien movies, and it just like it's a different type, and it's it had some funny moments and it had some pretty graphic moments. Yeah, it's just like it's
Even
a
had
nice
sex
fun
in it.
like even
Yeah.
yeah, and I would say I probably would agree with Auburn. It is probably a B movie because it's not as well known. Well, I mean, at the time when it came out, it wasn't as well known. But it's just one of those ones where you find where it's not a massive budget, but it still ends up being good.
Yeah.
And I think the actors and carried it well. So and like the main guy was likable, and then I liked his character, and I like the way he talked, and I just like the way he said fuck. He said fuck a lot, but it was just like fuck. It's just like he's just funny. He's just funny, and like the going around doing the evictions was the funniest bit. Just the way they were treating him and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, look at it, look at it! Keep the gun on him, keep the gun on him, and he's definitely a criminal."
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
explaining how to like kill the eggs and stuff, and he, like they're burning it, and he
Yeah,
goes,
popping
"You
like
hear that?
popcorn.
You hear that popping noise like popcorn? That's the babies. They come out the. It's like he just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He was
babies were
he was
getting-
He was
different.
so fucked up.
He was
yeah.
different. He was really cold, and I was like, I was actually when he was saying that part, I was like, oh, that's not. I mean, I don't know. That's not. It's kind of irky. So, Mr. Roger, welcome.
Hey fellas, how's it going this week?
How you doing?
Going well.
Awesome. Well, I enjoyed. I guess I'll start on District 9. I enjoyed that movie. It's not my first time watching it, and I think it is pretty much a sci-fi movie that tries to draw parallels into what's going on and how man treats other men, just because they may be different. They may be black, they may be yellow, they may be red. We just treat people badly. It's just humans are bad to each other for some reason, and the director Neil, I think you pronounce it Blomkamp. He not only is he a director, he's an artist, and the movie that you say is kind of a sequel to this, Chappie. Do you remember the two lead characters in it? The humans, it's Ninja and God, I can't remember her name. The guy's name is Ninja, and but anyway, they are heavily influenced by this Neil Blomkamp's art, and so he's a really interesting dude. So I would suggest checking out some of their work. You got to have an open mind when you view it, though. They're in a band called Die Antwoord. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. They're out of South Africa. The people that they portray as themselves aren't who they are. They're from a middle class type of neighborhood, but they act like they're from the Zep culture in South Africa, which is a pretty cool culture. And I agree with what most of you guys have said already. It was a good movie, and everybody should watch it, whether you're a sci-fi fan or not. And as far onto the second movie, the Marwen movie, it was a really good movie. Robert Zemeckis rarely makes anything bad, for starters. He's an awesome director. I think what I thought was one of the funniest parts when the Nicole comes to Marty's house from across the street, and he asks if she likes movies or anything, and he said, "Well, my favorite is Backdoor Best Babes,
Yeah.
number 4. It's really good. You should watch it."
Yeah,
Because
because
he's like,
he's
I'm not
explaining who the
familiar with
characters
that
are.
one.
Yeah.
They're all like people in his life, and then one of them's such and such, his favorite actress from Backdoor Babes.
Yeah, Backdoor Babes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Um, it was a sweet movie, and the cinematography. I'm a cinematography freak, and it was top notch in that
Mhm.
movie. It was beautifully shot. It was all art, really. It
Yeah.
really was, especially the doll part. I, I
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think I like the doll part more than the live action part
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I'm
me
not.
too.
It had to be CGI for the faces, and I'm not sure if they did stop motion for some of the doll parts or if it was all CGI. But whatever it was beautiful, and it took forever to make. I guarantee that it wasn't an easy movie to make.
Mhm.
Steve Carell, awesome in it. I agree with Andrew. There was no need for the boyfriend, Nicole's boyfriend, to be in it. Yes, the butcher. Watch Ugly Boy sometime.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Um,
was just looking through. This was from the other movie that when he was talking about the some of the guys that was in
Chappie.
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 Mhm.
Yeah, I remembered the girl's name now too. It's Yolandi Visser is her name. Um, there's something else. Watch watch some of their videos. Have an open mind before you go in because it's hard to watch some of it, but they're heavily influenced by Neil Blomkamp. But anyway, back to Marwen. It was a sweet movie. Um, and I agree. I think that Deja was the representative of the pills that were keeping him from from reality. Even though I don't know that he'll ever be in reality due to how he was beat. And I find that people that react so forcefully and voice it so much like against gay people usually, and I can't say this for 100%, but I feel that they're probably closeted gay themselves and just afraid of admitting it to themselves, and they have to attack what they fear in themselves the most.
Mhm.
Um, who cares if the guy wears pumps? I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care what
Mhm.
anyone does if it doesn't involve kids.
Mhm.
Mhm.
As long as it doesn't involve kids, you're good to
Yeah.
go in my book.
Yeah.
But I both of these movies this week were really good watches, and good job, both of you boys.
Right.
Nice.
Thanks.
Thank you, Roger. Da Beach.
What's happening?
Hey.
Start with Welcome to Marwen. After doing extensive research with the Internet Adult Film Database, there are there are 718 adult movies with hotel in the title, but there is no Wicked Hotel Encounters, which was the video he put on, and there is no adult actress named Suzette Saint Sweet. So there you go. In case anybody was going to go look for those few items, there you go. I saved you a bunch of time. Um, it's a good movie. Just I spent time in when I was in rehab. There was a guy who was in rehab who basically had this happen to him. He was in a gang beatdown, and he was in there trying to learn how to be able to walk again. So a lot of this movie, I was the right lit on a personal level, just because I dealt with somebody, for 3 months who was going through the same thing. It was good. I liked the movie. I actually enjoyed Marwen Call
Mhm.
more than I liked Welcome to Marwen. So thank you,
Yeah.
Aubin,
You're
for
welcome.
suggesting that.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
really good.
that delved in more about dealing with what he was going through personally,
Yeah.
which you didn't get a whole lot. You just got bits and pieces of the movie, but
Mhm.
the Welcome to Marwen Call went in more in depth. Good.
Yeah.
So good pick there. District 9, great movie. That's right up my alley. I just find it the director of the movie and the star of the movie they went to the same high school together. So when he was still a youngster, the director, he was going over to the actor, had a production company, and he was letting him use the computers in his production company to do 3D animation and stuff like that. So that's why you see, saw him in District 9, then you saw him in Elysium together. So that's why you see him, because apparently they're friends. But good movie. And like I said, one of my favorite parts is when they posted up on the news bulletin about him having sex with the alien. They show him. So naturally, some disgusting's right up my tree. So there you go. So yeah, it's good. And like I said, that's 3 picks in a row now, Andrew. 3 of yours
Easy.
that I've liked. I don't know what the hell's happened. Who's picking these movies for you? But
You're welcome. I've been sending him private messages.
Oh, yeah. Like anyone's going to believe that. None of them's had Matthew McConaughey in.
McConaughey in them, so we know that shit ain't true. And it's also nice to see the Blues not here, so I don't have a complex anymore. That it was just me that didn't show up when I had picks.
No, now I have the complex.
There you go. Better you than me. So yeah, there you go. That's my 2 cents, short and sweet.
All right.
Good.
All right,
both
sweet.
Good movies.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead, and the people that are in the side chat will be able to so people that have not joined the panel, you guys will be able to. We'll start with District 9 first. This is at the top of my list. District 9, you do a player pass, and what we do is for player pass, if you would suggest this movie to somebody else to watch, that would be a play. If you would not want to put your name on it because you wouldn't want someone to come back to you and say, hey, you told me to watch that movie and it sucked, then that would be a pass for you. So we're going to do District 9 first, player pass. We're going to start with the people on the panel. Roger, player pass on this one.
District 9's a play, and I can't wait for District 10.
Yeah.
What about you, Da Beach?
I give it a play.
Give it a play. Andrew?
Even little Andrew liked it.
I love the little Andrew. Got the skull, ball-headed knob.
This can't become a thing.
I need to work on his goatee.
He's got to have a beard. Yeah, Andrew's got more of a beard, so you got to work a little bit more beard on it.
No,
so,
we can't. This is not going to be a thing. This is not going to be a thing. Getting back to the show, it's a play, obviously.
Play from Andrew. What about you, Mr. Albin?
I'm gonna play.
It's a play, and then I give it a play. Let me look. I haven't seen anybody, so we'll give it a few seconds for people to in the side chat because you got TJ over there. I know Patty was over there.
Yeah,
Shrink and
Sharon.
I know Sharon was over there. Sharon, she couldn't be on the show, and Eddie said he wasn't going to be on the show today. And, prayers go out to Eddie. He was doing some stuff. Family stuff was going on, so lifting him up in our prayers today because he was struggling with some stuff. But he said he was going to try to watch, but real life takes priority over all this stuff. So I was looking. Patty gives it a pass. So Patty gives it a pass.
Patty, I'm disappointed.
TJ gives it a play. Once again, okay. So all right, so we got that. So we're gonna go and we'll go. Prayers out for Eddie. There you go. Thanks, Patty. So we'll go to Welcome to Marwen. Welcome to Marwen for player pass. So again, would you suggest this to somebody or not suggest it? We'll start with Roger.
Again, play for me. I would suggest this movie. It was a good watch. It's a sweet movie.
Good job. Thank you. The Beach.
Play.
And Daldum gave play for
District 9.
For District 9, so I'm trying to add that to the list. Andrew, player pass on Welcome to Marwen.
Yeah, it's a play from me. It was a good one.
Okay. Albin.
It's a play for me, and I just realized been in a daze tonight. I didn't even post a telegram one there. So I'm gonna put that up there for you guys.
Dropping the ball already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we get. I'm looking at Patty gave Marwen a play. I give Welcome to Marwen a play also. Not lots of action, but definitely worth watching. Okay, so give it a few seconds. And Eddie gave District 9 a play. So we got that. So give it a few more seconds because our show is about a
I feel like
10-second ahead of time.
I feel like there was a lot of action in Welcome to Marwen. It was like every doll scene was an
Yeah.
action scene.
Yeah.
Agreed. That all the
Yeah.
action was just animated.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
maybe it's the story. The main story was like it seemed to be cut up quite a lot, and I guess the Beach and Orban be able to tell with that or not because obviously they watched the documentary. But it seemed like the main story had been chopped up quite a lot just to cut it down into a movie form. But all the action was in the doll bits.
Yeah.
That was what was fascinating about it.
I think they couldn't just make a full length feature movie based directly on him, that they had to try and mix it up. I mean, I think it would have been better if they would have focused a little more on his story and just thrown in maybe some less of the doll parts. But I mean, I can understand why they did the doll parts to put action in there to really break it up. So I mean, that's it. I mean, it was choppy at parts like that, but I mean, I just figured they just made a decision that's why they did it.
Yeah. And the other thing I thought, well, it was interesting. I didn't really pick it up until they were in court. All right. So he was always fighting against the Nazis, and they were 5 of them, and they were the exact same characters that were the guys that beat him up. And the guy that beat him up had the swastika thing on his arm. So then that kind of played into why, in his mind, he was always being attacked by those Nazis, the 5 Nazis. And what was weird, like I said, when I mentioned it, it was always the same. It was the same thing. The Nazis would attack him, and then the girls would come in, or the women would come in and save him. Then the next time, the Nazis were coming in, shooting and trying to kill him, and then the women would come in and save him. So it was, to me, it was the ebb and flow, the same aspect or the same storyline every single time, because they always shot him up and then they'd fall. So yeah. All right, so we got a couple more. Got another play. Got a pass on Sharon. Okay, so
and the poll is out there on Telegram now also.
Okay, so people can vote in there because we know that people don't always vote by their conscience on the show.
Yeah.
But we've got, it wasn't unanimous. There was a couple passes on each one of those, so that's cool. That's all good, and there's nothing wrong with not liking a movie that we've done. I mean, I've actually on some of the movies that Blues suggested, and I'm like, it wasn't me, and it just it wasn't me. So there's nothing wrong with not liking a movie as long as you can give a reason why you didn't like it. Like Fresh killed that dog.
Yeah, I've found a few times that I haven't hated the movie, but I just didn't enjoy it enough, and didn't like it enough to say to somebody, watch this movie. But I wouldn't say that I would it was boring or anything like that. There was some movies that we've watched, Fresh. I actually liked Fresh. I thought it was quite alright, but I think the reason I passed on it because there was a few things obviously the dog scene's the major one, but still there's other stuff in it was not done very well, but it wasn't a terrible movie by any means. There's been a few movies like that where there haven't been terrible movies, there just haven't been suggestible movies.
And I think that's the best way for us to talk about when we say play your pass, and you're like, well, it's like, would you put your name on this if if someone that you work with or one of your friends say, hey, watch this movie, because would you tell them that? Because if you're like, no, I wouldn't want to suggest it, then that's probably a pass. Go ahead, DeBeach.
Now, I was going to say, if you want to watch some movies that you can definitely put a pass on, watch some of the movies that have been nominated for Academy Awards
Oh,
this
yeah.
year, because this week I've watched A Promising Young Woman,
Okay.
Nomadland, and I'm like, okay,
No good.
who the hell's gonna win? Because
Wow.
the ones I've seen so far is like, Jesus.
I have no interest in watching a single nominated movie this year. Zero.
I'm watching just because out
Well,
of
yeah.
curiosity. If they're up for the best picture,
Well,
I just want to see what's what.
I'm
usually
hoping
do
that
that.
something has to be good, besides a superhero movie. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Because
there's
those don't even get pulled up there for an award normally, right? You know?
Yeah. Well, I
the one
used to go. Usually in the past years, we would do I'd have the Oscars list, and I would try before the show, and I
Yeah.
would try make a point of watching every one of them, except for the musicals because I just hate musicals. I would try to
Amen.
watch them all, and then so that I could give my own opinion. Hey, this was good. This actress was good. This actor was good, because you don't always have to like. You can't
The movie.
just because a movie, you can't say that's the best picture, but you could say that was the best actress. So that's why I usually watch it and I'm like, okay, I can see why that actress was nominated, or what were they thinking? Hey, so this is a question, guys. What's the English movie with the two cops who solved a murder? It was Jason Statham.
No,
I think
then he's calling
I think
me
he's talking
Jason
to
Statham
Andrew.
because I'm bald.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I would
No,
be
I'm
offended
pretty-
if it was anybody else.
I'm pretty sure he's talking about Andrew in that. And
Yeah.
But it's very
All right.
bland. It's very how it's one of them questions. What's the English movie with the two cops that solve a murder? I don't know. Could it be a number of movies?
Sherlock Holmes?
How many movies is
Yeah,
there?
I know,
Two
right?
cops
Yeah.
solve a murder. You know what I mean?
Lock, Stock, and
Need
Two
a bit more
Smoking Barrels.
details,
Yeah.
PJ.
That's all good. All right, so we got that. All right, so again, you posted in there for the Telegram group.
Yeah.
So we have that in there. So let's talk about next week. So next week is season 2 of Best of, and something that Alban and I, or Alban figured out about something happened this year with this season, because if you guys remember, one of my shows was on my alternate network or my alternate channel, because remember YouTube gave me the timeout for a week. So we had, what was it? Episode 35. There was 2 of them.
Yeah, 235s.
So we actually do have 20 movie, or well, they'd be 40 movies.
Yeah, we're
20
still going to
picks.
be 4. We're still going to be at 40.
Yep. So we did that. I did that on season 1 too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's old age.
In other words, dabs do not account.
No, I can't count. So yeah, it's like, because he was talking about what show was 13th Warrior and something else, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, okay, it was this one, and then I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute,
No.
on my regular channel I've got an episode 35 also. So
Yeah.
oh well.
It's
So
okay.
all right, so Alban and I were kind of knocking around some ideas. So next week is going to be the best of, and that's going to be season 2.
Mhm.
And so we're going to, next week we won't have any new movies, but what we'll do is we'll talk about the movies that we watched this season. And so, and it'll be the what were some of the categories that you had?
I was thinking of, I'm just pulling it up here. Best picture, worst, best music, the funniest, tearjerkers, ones that we would recommend to someone, maybe even ones we wouldn't recommend to anyone, but that could always be a worse movie. That was it.
Movies you liked that you didn't think you were gonna like.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, or
Okay.
or movies. And another one was movies that didn't hold up over time, because like we've done movies where you like, oh yeah, I love that movie back, blah blah, and then we watch it and it didn't hold up, and you're like, well, when I watched it in the early '80s, that was a kick-ass movie.
Yeah.
When I watch it now, it's because I think that was one of the categories we had last time.
Yeah.
One of the other categories that I suggested was the the best based on a real story movie.
Yeah,
because I think some that for me real life based on a true story movies are a little bit different. I skew them a little bit. I'm not as maybe not as critical. I give them a little bit more leeway because they are real life. So it's not going to be scripted perfectly. So I was thinking, maybe the best of something that's real movies based on a real story. Anything else?
And also maybe if whether or not we're gonna vote on each person's, each person who put a movie in, to see what was the best movie for them.
Yeah, that was another category we were thinking about using is what was the best movie that person picked.
Yeah,
and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
we would just have to break it down. I'm thinking with that one, because we were talking about, do we do it on Telegram? We want to do it on the live show. I mean, we want to do it live here because we want to be able to talk about them.
Or even if I put on Telegram a ballot sheet that people can at least check their stuff off and at least be ready to answer for the show.
Do it during the week, and then when you come to the show, you've got like a range of stuff.
Yeah, and then you don't have because the thing about with Telegram, if you do a poll, you only have 10 choices.
Yeah.
Whereas for best movie, unless Alban goes through and says, "Well, I think these were the best movies," whereas
I wouldn't want to do that.
Right. So it's and then the plus would be like you could easily put in a post. These are Andrew's movies. These were Dab's movies. These were Alban's movies, and it's easy to see.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So I think that's so we can do that, and maybe what I can do. I'm trying to think of how we can do it because of the possible people that aren't on Telegram, but it's hard to get that information out there.
Are not on Telegram
that are watching.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good point.
I wish I knew, and we could find a way to get the ballot out to them. You know what I mean? Because I could try to make up a ballot that's a PDF that you can just fill out and put it back on Telegram, and we'd have everyone's result.
We're not having mail-in ballots. Okay.
No.
Either that, or they could just leave their votes in the comments section of the show.
Okay.
On YouTube. That would, if you're not on Telegram, that would be an easy solution. Just leave your comments or your votes in YouTube.
Okay.
How many members do you have in that Telegram group now, Todd? I don't know how to.
Right on top. I'm telling you, 69 members.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What Telegram group is that?
No one else joined ever.
What Telegram group is that? That's not Streaming Matters.
No,
that's Player Pass Room.
Oh, I'm not in that Telegram group.
No, I'll send you the thing.
We can't let you in.
We change I know, right? Yeah.
Okay, we got to vote him in, and we got to vote someone out.
Don't you watch the show? How many times did we post the link for the show?
Well, sneeze your leaves. Fine. Fuckers. Just more proof they don't want me on the show. That's fine. Me and little Andrew are going to start our own movie review show.
His own review show.
That's right. Little Andrew's picks.
I get hammered on this show. I got people in the comment section calling us names of bald people. I get bloody the beach using skulls to mock us.
The picture.
I think bald people may be the last group of people that is cool, or not cool, but okay to make fun of. You can't make fun of fat people no more. You can't make fun of gay people no more. But bald people, sure, have at it.
But I go and have my
fat
say.
fuck in a wheelchair, Andrew, so I'm wide open. Have at it.
Oh,
You got a leg up. You got a leg up on him, Andrew.
Damn right. That's throw a stick in front of me, and I could never run you down.
Yeah, a stick in them in the wheels, the little
A
spokes.
sticker. Go up a set of stairs. You're safe.
All right. So what we're gonna do? So we're gonna have next week. So it'll be we'll come up and we'll post some stuff in Telegram, and we'll have those the categories, and then you can hopefully you guys are on Telegram. If not, we've posted that link, and I think the link is actually in this show's notes. I think I actually when I created the show, I actually put the Telegram group in there, so that is in there. Also, the blues track list is on there too. So if you're not sure, you can actually click it, and if you look through, it starts with the newest movie and goes down. What's the first movie? Do you have the first movie like from episode 21?
Yeah,
like
sure,
so. So that would be if they go down the list.
They go down the list. Hold on, I'm just opening my thing back up. Okay, the first movie on season 2, episode 21 was The Color Purple and The Glass Castle.
Yeah, that was a good start.
Yeah, that was two good
That
movies.
was
Which
Cam
one was the
and
classic?
Shan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was Cam. Yeah, that was Cam.
Yep, Cam and Shan.
Then in episode 22, we went with Loose and The Commitments. And then we had our Matthew McConaughey and his Dallas Buyers Club and The Highwaymen.
Yeah, that was you and me, Todd. That was another week.
That was you. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to pull out Matthew on this one, on that one.
Mm-hmm.
We had some good
You
movies.
pulled out Matthew a few times.
Yeah, we did have some good movies this season.
Yeah,
for sure.
We also had Harry Potter with guns.
Yeah.
We did.
Listen, I even tried again. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Get past the first 2 movies, and they're awesome, Aubin. I promise.
It's not. I'd like to even get past the first movie. Otherwise, nothing is going to make any sense to me. Because it's funny to me how you guys could rattle off their names and these spells. I can't do that. That's just not me. Not happening.
Okay, Patty's asking. So, Patty, what we're going to do is in the Telegram group, Albin is going to create like lists, and it's going to have certain aspects of like
Ruined
what
at the
movies
beach.
are in categories.
Damn right. Fuck you all. Number 70 bitches.
So we'll have the different categories, and then next week everyone will be able to come on here, and people can post when we ask a question like, "What was the best movie?" or the worst movie, and then whoever's on the panel can talk about it. You people in the side chat will be able to talk, but through text. But it's going to be, we're going to do our best to create the posts in Telegram so we can say these were Andrew's picks for this.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get to the category for what was Andrew's best pick,
Right,
and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, so I think for doing it that way for each person, we'll be able to get away with it because no way any person had 10 picks. You know what I mean? So I could, create those.
Let's see. Can he recommend some movies within the categories? Well, if you want to recommend a movie, you have to be on the panel for 4 times, and then you can recommend any movie you want. That's just kind of the rule, because we feel like it makes it because this show was supposed to be built around people being willing to come on here and to talk. And again, you could be like Roger, don't turn your camera on. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes
or be like me.
Or
$13.99 on Amazon. Lovely camera.
But yeah, you get to come on the show and tell us what you thought. Did you like the movie, not like it, however you want to describe it? But you get to come on, and then you get to interact, and that's what the show was. We were hoping to create was that conversation. So, Asif, you're more than welcome If you just come on some of the shows and tell us what you thought about the movies we're talking about, you got to come on for 4. Then you get put in the rotation because I don't know. I get to be. This is another show I get to be on here, so boom, getting closer to my picks.
Hey, Aubin.
Yeah.
I got a folder suggestion for you. Best dad movie that wasn't Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, that sounds like a good one.
There can't be too many. There's probably
There's
not
not
too
going
many
to
to
be
pick from.
many. No, I think I had a couple in there. Was
Yeah,
Lars?
he did. Heartbreak Ridge or whatever.
Yeah, and was
That
Lars
one,
in this season,
Lars
or
and
was
the Real
Lars,
Girl.
or was that
No,
last
Lars was
season?
last one.
Hold
yeah.
on,
That
I'm
might have been
looking.
season 1. That might have been season 1. Yeah,
I feel
it will be
like,
a lot.
I feel like Roger's the wild card in the whole thing because like I never know what kind of movie he's gonna pick. Like that Harry Potter movie came out of nowhere. Like Harry
Mhm.
Potter was good. Like who thinks to pick that? And that the one he picked last was it in the last season? Was it in this one? The comedy one on Netflix.
Package.
I would,
Package.
yeah, the
Yeah.
package. Like I never
Mhm.
I would never have thought of that movie. I
No,
didn't even know what that movie was.
Wait a second. Hold on. Would
The
you?
package.
Oh no, wait, no. He
I
no.
think
Well, he
that
was.
season 1.
He only. Believe it or not, Todd only has 2 Matthew McConaughey movies.
Yeah, it's because you guys
Yeah,
don't give
because
me
he's
enough
right.
answers.
He used them all up last season.
Dallas
I
Buyers
picked
Club
one of them.
and Young Boy Rick.
Young
Yeah.
Boy Rick.
White boy Rick.
White Boy Rick. Yeah.
White boy.
But he also has The Wrestler, Cool Hand Luke, Wonder Woman, 1984.
No, I don't.
And Dogma. Yes, Todd. You know,
I picked it. I did pick it only.
You picked her because
Yeah.
I still hate you for it because
I didn't
Yeah,
really
I picked
want to.
ruined Wonder Woman for me. Ruined her.
I picked a
Oh,
Matthew
wait a second.
McConaughey
Oh no,
movie
wait
this
a
season.
second. Oh, whoa, wait a second. I'm sorry. He had The Gentleman. From season 1.
The season 1.
Season
Yeah,
1
that
was The
early.
Gentleman, and that was it. Yeah, because his other movies were Step Brothers, Nebraska, Hacksaw Ridge, Lawrence and the Real Girl, and Friday.
Yeah. See,
So we
Hey,
can't.
you guys. Even though I do have a hall pass for Matthew McConaughey from Blues, so
Yeah.
just letting you know.
And I
But-
picked Frailty.
Yeah,
had
you
Matthew
picked Frailty, and I didn't
Yeah.
even know that he was in it.
Right.
So, yeah, I still, just to let you know, on my list, I do have some. I do have a little bit. I got a little something. Yeah, I'm ready for my next pick.
I got 2 Matthew movies on my pick, but on my pick list, so I'll get to them eventually.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll start rolling. We'll close out the show so everyone we're out here early. And let's see. We'll get ready for next week. Pay attention to Telegram group because that's where we're gonna have where Albin has something to do this week because he doesn't have the movies to
Because I
watch.
don't have
this
a
week.
movie to watch. But listen,
Yeah. Now you got Telegram to be.
twisted. I gotta. I'm not gonna be sitting on Telegram like you guys at 5 a.m. Because bad
He's gonna
enough
watch
when I hear.
He's gonna watch every movie that we've already watched. He's gonna watch them all in a
Oh
week.
no! It was bad enough having to go through every show to try to figure out where whatever was missing. Okay, so I dedicated that to the show this week, you guys.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he would hit me up because he says, "Hey, I need to talk to you before
Right.
we start the show. I gotta get my notes straight." He goes, "I got some missing blanks. I got some spots here that's not filled in." I'm like, "All right." Well, hey, it's a good thing I can search my YouTube pages. So,
Yeah.
let's see, Roger. Anything you want to say before we roll out of here?
No, I'm looking forward to next week for the wrap-up show. As always, thanks for the invite. Always a blast to spend my Wednesdays with you boys, and we need to get Blue back so this isn't such a sausage fest.
Yeah. Just for that, we should watch Sausage Party.
Oh,
Oh no!
That's a terrible
I
movie.
do that once.
Oh, you
Exactly.
don't like that movie?
No,
all right. So that movie
No,
is just
it's
weird.
disturbing.
And
Oh.
the last 10 minutes of it were disturbing. I'm sorry. The last 10 minutes, I'm thinking, how did someone think of this?
Oh my god!
I did that. Yeah. Yeah, I might actually that
I'm gonna watch it now again because I
'cause
forgot the ending.
the ending. It's disturbing. It really is. I don't know. I don't get it. That's a lot of pot to make you think about that stuff. Yeah. So the beach.
Thanks for letting me on, and see you next week, I guess.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Mr. Andrew.
Yep, thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to, like Roger said, I'm looking forward to next week talking about all the picks.
All right.
Good job. All right. Alban.
Okay. Can't wait for next week. We got to do whatever we can to find people like Cam and Peen. Let them know that to be here for the
Yeah.
show. Be great to see them back.
Yep.
Well, my prayers are going out for boy Eddie.
Yep.
And yeah, I love the show. I like I always say, you guys definitely make my Wednesdays. All right. I'll find something to watch, but no, I think I will watch the Sausage Party because I do remember laughing hysterically at that movie. And all right, that's it from me.
Thanks. Thank you, Alban. Again, we got Shrinking Sharon over in the side chat. She had something going on, so she wasn't able to come on the live chat, which is cool. She was able to be on the YouTube chat, so it was great. Patty, TJ, you guys are more than welcome. Daldum, you guys are more than welcome to come on to the show next week. And you, like I said, you don't have to have a camera. You leave the camera off, and you can just tell us what you think. And we'll be able to have fun. It should be a fun show. And this show was supposed to be non-techy. It was supposed to just be, what did you like? Did you like the movie? Not like the movie? It's nothing hard. Everyone has an opinion on a movie. So that's what this is. That's what this is about. And as Alban said, prayers goes out to Eddie. Our hearts and prayers are with you, buddy. So hope to see you next week. And this show was based on people. I look at Alban. We got DeBeach, Roger, who had never been on any other shows, never been on YouTube, on any of that kind of stuff. And after, on here, they want to be on here each week to, come. That's what we're hoping for. We want more people like that. So you guys get the courage up. Come on. Jump in. The water's fine.
It really is a blast. Once you do it, it's a blast.
Definitely.
It's a whole lot better than typing.
Yeah,
you get a whole lot of different
that's why I'm here.
perspectives.
Yeah.
You get lots of different perspectives on movies as well because people point out stuff that you never noticed when you watch the movie.
Yeah, like
it's
Saw
nice to have a
44.
good range.
Yeah, we still waiting
I
on
think
that
everyone pointed out that was rubbish. I think everyone massively agreed that was rubbish.
Yeah, you're just hoping that doesn't be that's not the worst movie of the year. You're lucky that I got Wonder Woman in there for you. You're lucky.
But it had at least actors that all of you liked.
I'm a big
so did Sharon's pick, Little Things. That had actors that were all liked as well.
Oh.
Yeah,
and then Coming to America too.
Oh yeah,
Coming to America too. How could we forget?
Oh God.
So look at we're already starting to roll through all those. So great times. Thanks for you guys joining the show. See you on Friday. Don't know what I'm going to do on Friday. We'll see. I know Alban will be there because now I've wrangled him into being on Friday's show. Anybody else that would like to be on the show, more than welcome to be on the show, and we'll see what we'll talk about.
I'm actually not at work this Friday, so I might.
Oh,
awesome! Well,
that'd be great.
You're more than welcome anytime. Since you helped
don't
create
know much
the show.
about this Cody thing. I'll try and talk to him.
Yeah, we talk about all kinds of streaming. You can talk about Netflix or something. Netflix or Plex. Alban, he
this show out.
Yeah,
This show out all your viewers that you get on there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I got well over 100 at any point in there. So, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for you guys joining. See ya.